Here we go. The University of Hashtag Culture, the University of I keep it like University Neo Meladin, Aborigines, the true Indians who are the so-called black people, Afro, American Negro, and so and so. Today we're going to talk about Rtruth and Carlito's release. I heard that shout out to wrestling with racism, shout out wrestling in color, and everybody else that made a video because it was very shocking. Carlito, shocking as well because I heard about it on my Instagram feed that Carlito got released. That was a couple hours ago. The last match Rtruth had was against Jeff Cobb's last Friday, the Friday that's just passed. They don't see Rtruth. You know how racist WWE is. And Carlito too. Carlito is so-called black. His father is a so-called black, but he's a Latino. He's not an American Negro. The real American Negroes are us because we built America and we built land before it was America. I had the true Latinos before it was Latinos was the so-called black people. If you go to Latin America, excuse my French, if you go there, you will see so-called black statues. Carlito, he did a segment with my tall boo, Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, Jordan, and Femme and Dominic. And I remember Carlito had told Dominic, you gotta leave her chicken nuggets, bro. No, not it. It was Stephanie. Stephanie included as well. Stephanie had brought Dominic chicken nuggets for the second time. And Carlito told Dominic, you gotta stop eating all her nuggets. That was the last segment Carlito was in. The last match. Hold on. I gotta think of the last match. Let me go on Google. Carlito's last match in WWE. No, not WWC. Their territory is in Puerto Rico. In WWE. So the last match, I'm on Cave's Match Net. Chaotic Wrestling, Deep South Wrestling, New England Championship Wrestling, Ohio Valley Wrestling. That's Kofi Kingston. I'm looking for Carlito. Just give me a few seconds. Wait. I didn't pay attention. It says Carlito's last match in the WWE was in 2023 during a San Juan street fight at WWE Backlash, where he assists Bad Bunny against Damian Priest, and he was then part of the Judgment Day faction until his contract expires, and he was not renewed, according to Bleacher Report. So that was the last match he had in 2023. So he was always at ringside. I gotta be sure about this before I'm reading this. Before I'm reading this article. WWC. The real last match he had was in a dark match On Raw, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and Rey Mysterio defeated the Judgment Day, Carlito, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor. That was the last match, and it was a dark match. And this was on March the 24th, 2025. That was what was it? June, May, April. That was 4 months ago. That was the last match he had. Wow. Both of their contracts will not be renewed. Wow. That's surprising. And Rtruth and Carlito got released in a racist way. And that match with Rtruth had with John Cena was a racist way. Okay, let's get to the article from No DQ, and I gotta watch out for No DQ. WWE and AEW covers backstage news regarding the WWE departures of Rtruth and Carlito. In regards to why Rtruth and Carlito are leaving the company, Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com noted that as a new talent from NXT joined the main roster, older undercard wrestlers or those unutilized are mostly likely to be phased out. It's more to the story. Meltzer also state the following: their numbers. They look at the numbers and they're looking at how many do we have to cut or how much money do we have to cut. And those were the picks. So they picked Rtruth and Carlito. Rtruth and Carlito were never WWE champions, but won the mid-card title belts, like the Intercontinental in the United States, but never won the main event title, but participate in a main event title match, which has to be the WWE Championship. So Triple K, Triple Bitch, racist Triple H, racist Hunter Hearst Helmsley did this. Those were the fact Triple H picks, and that's what it is. I don't think they lose anything by losing. Carlito Rtruth is really funny, courtesy of WrestlingNews.com. PWI Insider note that as word made the rounds about Rtruth's WWE departure being legitimate, the response from those in the company was absolutely a feeling or disbelief. A few wonder if Truth has been offered another role just that as of an ambassador similar to Titus O'Neil's role. That's kind of real strange. If you're a so-called former black wrestler, they make you have the ambassador role. They won't let you be an agent or a producer, executive, backstage, talent relations. They will not allow so-called black former wrestlers. They can be managers in ringside, but they can't do the top staff work. They can't be creative control, head of creative control writer. They have to have the ambassador role that Titus had, or a common commentator, or an interviewer like Byron Saxton. Shout out to Byron Saxton. I already know his mom is Haitian. He said this on an interview. Wow, so they didn't let Titus O'Neil go. We already know about Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil, similar to Shad Gaspard, Coons, and I already know Shad's money was going to the white woman he married in her community. Shad Gaspard's family didn't touch the money, but they did. They freaking touched the money. Them powder face, they racist, man. And he was Mike Tyson's blood sacrifice. Watch faith versus sacrifice. So he can come back in the ring and be big like Shad Gasper. That white woman, just like Kobe Bryant. And Leslie, they still breathing. That's why I can't do no interrace rules. But that's not the topic. Rtruth, oh yeah. Rtruth is married to a white woman. And that white woman gonna have his money if something happens to Rtruth. It's gonna go to her and her community. They do this every time in interracial marriage. That's not good. It's a lot worse than same race marriages. It's a lot worse. It's 10 times worse. The family that's so-called black can't not grab or had the hands of their so-called family member that is black, so-called black family member money in the funds. They can't grab it. They can't be philly touchy on it. They can't put their hands on it. That's how racist these powder face crackers are. You can't, even if you're a so-called black person that's related to that so-called black person that's a family member, you can't even get it. You can't even reach or climb to get as WWE talent commented to PWI Insider that made it them to feel as if nothing is guaranteed. It always be us. We can guarantee anything. And we know we so-called black people, especially American Negroes, we not protected whatsoever. I'm just keeping a buck with y'all. Real talk. Another talent stated that Truth, the partial made them want to be make sure their next contract with the company was negotiated and locked in while in effect. That dimwitted character, and they released him because of that dimwitted character got over by the feds. I'm against it. So he has a music career. He really does. He still can work on that. Rtruth needs to know what's going on in the music industry, just like the rest of the industry, because they do rituals and sacrifices. They really do. Like wow, that dimwitted gimmick got over and then and they had to release. So Daddy Donald, fuck you, Triple H, release the Rtruth. I am now a AEW fan. JK, I will never be fan of that garbage company, but still it's fucking bullshit. You can suck my dick for a releasing Rtruth. Wow, I'm gonna make you a moderator. Hello, Gote. What's up, Mysterio Kai? What's going on? That's for that cracker from Georgia. Hold on. I'm gonna make uh Daddy Dotto a moderator. I'm still struggling. Hold on. I You know, I make Daddy Donald a mod. I'm back. So he will come back soon. We got 3 people washing. Um, Rtruth, Carlito. They never climbed in that so-called ceiling and never had a big opportunity. Carlito had a big opportunity at his father's wrestling organization, WWC. Rtruth was the first African American, so-called first African American, that won the NWA TNA World Championship. Why did they never had those big opportunities in WWE and never be in the face? That's right. You had to be blonde hair, blue eyes, and pale skin and brunette. And you know that so-called black wrestlers are in a better shape than wrestlers that's in different ethnicities. I ain't being racist here. I ain't racist. I'm telling you the truth. This is not make believe. This is real. They are in a better shape than wrestlers outside the so-called black ethnic group. Rtruth is ageless. He's aging gracefully. And y'all did not appreciate this so-called black man, but y'all kept him around. Carlito is aging gracefully as well. And y'all kept them around. Rtruth was in the WWE as K Quick in 2000 and 2001, got released. Went to Impact Wrestling around 2002, 2003. Carlito got released in 2009 and went to, he didn't went to TNA, he went to a wrestling organization, his father's represented in Puerto Rico, and other wrestling organizations, independent wrestling organizations that I know, including MCW, because Primo and Epico are still at Carlito and Primo's father and Epic's uncle. They family related at their father and uncle's wrestling promotion down in Puerto Rico. Rtruth was in the Indies. He definitely was, because they got released for the second time. Rtruth came back in 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2000. I said 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25 of this year. So he returned for the first time for 2008. He returned in the company and stayed there, unlike his first run. His first run was like 2 years. 2008, 2018, that's 10. Then you got 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's I know it's 10 years, right? So he stayed within the company because he stayed with the company for, what was it, 17 years. His second one, 17 years. If you combine 2000 and 2001, that'd be 19, no, is it 19 years? It'd be 19. Or I could say this, 24. But 2002 and 2008, he was in Impact Wrestling as Wrong the Truth Killings. Okay, 24 years combined. First and second run in the WWE/WWF. Carlito, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008. That's a 2000. That's 5 years. 2000. He been in WWE for 6 years. That's his first one. He returned in 2003, 2024, 2025. That's like 3 years in his second run. He returned in 2023. And they salary was mid-card salary that was 1,000. It wasn't up to $1 million. Oh man. Let's say the combination would be 21 years. Okay, he wasn't in WWE in 2011 to 2022. That's 11 years he wasn't in the WWE. Rtruth wasn't in the WWE 2003, 2004, 2005. That's like 3. 2006, 2007. That's like 5. He wasn't in the WWE for 5 years. He was there with Impact Wrestling. Mm-mm-mm. I hate to say this, but the truth is, they look at them as niggers, but Rtruth, they see Rtruth as an ignorant nigger because that's what they love. Those powder face backstage politicians. Rtruth ain't the only one. Carlito, because Carlito was a victim of racism by a 30-second white supremacist Master Mason, Fisted Kennedy McMahon, who is either no longer here or in some island somewhere. Mm-hmm. Either one. Because he made a racist slur on his afro and compare him to the guy with the dreads. And he dealt with it like a couple times. It wasn't one time. Before I leave, I'm going to show y'all something. And Rtruth is best friends with a 30-second white supremacist Master Mason. And they have children. Both of them. Rtruth dealt with racism with Fist McMahon too. And he don't see something in him. Why you being friends with a racist and they don't? Fist McMahon the same exact day. We don't see no color. We see talent. That's what we see, and we don't have no protection. We being held back. We can't be uh, up until we get to the upper big card or a low main event level. We can't go mid and higher. They don't want us to see us so-called black people to go high. It could be anywhere, in location, everywhere. This happens in real life. Racism is real life racism at its peak. Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely. I'm telling the truth. It's racism at its peak. I am not gonna lie. There's no need for me to lie because it's everywhere. Everywhere you go. Wherever they say anything, they look at you in a racist way because I dealt with this kinds of shit. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, how racist the real world is. I gotta put my clothes in the dryer on the left side. Then my mouth is dry, but I got some fruit punch left in the water bottle that I poured before I left out the apartment. Let me hold my breath for like 30 seconds. Or more than 30 seconds. Because I definitely want to get into the article before I end the stream. And this was in 2024. WWE faces backlash over racially insensitive segment and follow Carlito on Monday Night Raw. WWE is faces severe backlash following a controversial segment on this October 21st, 2024 episode of Monday Night Raw. The segment involving Carlito has sparked outrage among the fans, with many calling it racially insensitive. WWE always freaking do this. During the show, Carlito encountered WWE superstar Io Sky and Kairi Sane backstage. The two Japanese wrestlers were expressing their frustrations with Carlito quip, I gotta learn Chinese. This remark angered fans due to racial and complications, as Sky and Say are Japanese, not Chinese. So this and the guy on the left had to be a Barletto, so-called African American. This is bad, like bad at best. It's very stupid and ignorant, and at worst, it's downright racist. You cannot say the bad is good. We're not racist anymore. Racism still exists in WWE and everywhere. And let something like this slip on your flagship program. Someone needs to get fired. They doing this to get a paycheck. When you in the business of WWE in corporate America, it had to be racism. They pushing the racist agenda. They're not going to get fired because that's what they do to get a racist paycheck, a racist grade paycheck. It happens still, but it mainly be us so-called black people. We always get it worse than them. Oh, gotta learn Chinese. They doing this, but they don't go to extreme with the Asians like that. They go to the extreme on us so-called black people. They go to extreme level. They don't want that to be equal. They like to make it unfair because that's what they do. They always gonna do it regardless. This is more than two times. So Carlito is getting canceled over racist remarks and still get held back by the WWE. He didn't get no big main event push. Carlito on starting his new career in OWE among his racist comments. Well, they were them. I know it had to be non so-called blacks that was outraged. But WWE do a lot worse than Carlito. The Cockadoids, they a lot worse than my race and other race that's not like them. This is another article because I had read an article like this before a couple years back. Big Raw spoiler: fifth racist remarks towards Carlito. Because it was the hair. Dang. Where is the paragraphs where they was making a statement about this? I don't see it. Either they had removed it or hid it. One of the two. We're gonna get the R truth. But R truth wants that racist right paycheck. R truth is better than that, than with a gimmick. I remember when he was in TNA and it was an interview. Jim Ross was asking him they said to R Truth, and R Truth said this that wrestling is a white man's sport. This is more than that. Because I'm started to notice that it's not. I definitely gotta do some digging. Jim Ross and Bruce Fisher told R Truth that wrestling was a white man's world. Oh yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, in 2000, when he was in developmental, and I think it was Memphis Championship Wrestling. We at that time, that was their developmental territory at that time. R Truth in a uncomfortable change in character WWE racial stereotyping. We live in politically correct society, and we personally believe that it's dragging us down. Everyone has to watch what they say and how they say it, or they could offend someone. We always be offended a lot. That's what they do. They pushing a racist agenda. This is no hidden agenda. It's a racist, and not only a racist agenda, it's a colorism agenda. Most people who are wrestling fans need to look further than the strong-handed tactics by Glad, and we already know what Glad is about. They part of the Remo community, and they also is racist towards us as well. They have concepts to accelerate the so-called black race. I post a video about it on my TikTok account. Togger expert. To see where it is taking us. Why? So why did I feel uncomfortable watching R-Truth promo with the Miz last night? Because I watched talented superstars turn from vicious psychotic heel into a slapstick lackey. That's what they made R-Truth and betray as, thinking that he don't know everything, and assuming this and assuming that. I know what I saw, and he was the first African American that had 52 rings and was a 58-time 24/7, and they did not appreciate R-Truth's title ring with the 24/7. That was over. They see it as an overlook and underappreciated. That's not good. He was working hard for his money, and y'all being racist to him. Y'all racist, y'all bigots, y'all xenophobes, discriminate, prejudice all the way towards us. And that won't freaking change. It's gonna stay there. I know how those powder face are. Oh, nah. Because I watched a talent superstar. Yeah, I did read this already. Fisher Psychotic Hill. That was in 2011. It's supposed to be John Morrison, but due to, backstage politics, but he don't get it worse. It's something about it has something to do with Melina, and he did not took that well. She's supposed to be in a mixed tag team match, but they put Snooki instead. No, they put Trish Stratus instead of Melina, and he didn't give no, he didn't give no. It was Snooki, and he didn't give Snooki a hug. So why did I feel so uncomfortable watching Rtruth promo with the Miz last night? Because I watched oh yeah, that's right. Second time. Let me scroll down. I'm losing concentration. When Rtruth debuted his new character, it was a piss off blackness, stereotypical fashion, who constantly felt like the man was holding him down. Sure, he slurred words, used terrible grammar. That's what they do this to us. Terrible grammar and speech impediments. This is what they do. They don't see us going us. They want to see us down the bottom. That's not good. It seems generally unbalanced, but he had just enough truth in his words to make you realize that he might not be completely off the mark. Or to paraphrase a line from Catch 22, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they ain't after you. That was the feeling that Rtruth's character gave me. And it was a stereotypical fashion, just like I said. I'm going to continue saying this. Crazy, but maybe more than a little right. The promos came off as genuine and entertainment and never once compromised himself an intelligent but loony character. So-called black stereotype. When he got paired with the Miz, I felt it was only to get better. It gets worse, worse and worse since 2011. He wasn't like that. That his first run in WWF/WWE and Impact Wrestling, he wasn't even like that. Just to let y'all know. But the mixture of the Miz and his stable mind, but out of control, ego, or true psychotic, but impassionate rumbling seems like go. And then Monday Night Raw happens. Miz and a tie and started talking. When he mentioned he has a difficulty in Rtruth launched into a rumbling promo where he misunderstood multiple words, in which it got worse. Miz kept trying to explain himself, and Truth kept getting more and more lost. It was painful to watch. You see that? You see how these powder face Jacobian beasts do the so-called black people like Rtruth? Yes, it's so painful. I wasn't even feeling that. And I wasn't even connected. I told my friends about this. Wasn't the character I had enjoyed. That was a sidekick, one who didn't understand things on a high level and was easily influenced. Wow, enjoy sidekick, high level, easily influenced. Where where was the Rtruth who was deranged but able to seduce the Miz because they had paired up twice. The Miz into working him by feeding this ego with the right words. Where was the wrestler who had given us moments? He was giving us moments, yeah, but in the 2020, it's not there anymore. When he held audiences in the palm of his hand and got them to say whatever he wanted while pretending he hinted. God, instead we got somebody who nodded his head strong to words he didn't understand coming from a well-groomed white man in a suit. Whoa, whoa. We live in a politically correct world where people are offended by the slightest thing, but feel this is crosses the boundary. I just want to know when it comes to Rtruth's character, what's up? Wow. And the crowd went over it. Wow. This is sad. This is very sad. what they made him out to be in a historical fashion. We got something. That's what they was hiding. That we was not allowed to read and write. That was in. We had the true Allah's gift. See, they don't want us to know that. And they do not show us much love if we taught them love. Uh, love, civilized, they taught us that we were the first and only that teach them that because they from the Caucasus Mountains. We teach them. No, wait, we didn't teach them how to be nasty. They was the sign of that. We taught them rhythm. They never taught us rhythm. Rhythm and blues came from us. Music, hip hop, jazz, rock and roll, us. Every instrument in the music genre came from us, not them. They stole it and plagiarized it. Uh huh. But it's still our music at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Wow. He's like I said, he's still doing music, but will he able to make his return? Because there's a possibility he'd be back in Impact Wrestling. He will not have the Denver character. He will be back as Ron the True Killings, along with K Quick. He's gonna be himself again. He ain't gonna be like the Dinwiddie character that he was in 2011 to 2025 and had a long run with it. Lil Jimmy, you know, Lil Jimmy idea came from JTG, and he told the Master Mason about it and told Rtruth. He came up with the idea, the Master Mason. He didn't came up with the idea. It was JTG, and you took something from a so-called black man. To him, her, and their community. You better watch out, man. That was JTG's idea and got stolen by Fitz McMahon and give it to Rtruth to say they would Brutus Clay. That was his idea of being the Hall of Pain. That wasn't Mark Henry. He told Fitz, the Master Mason, 32nd degree white supremacist, and give it to Mark Henry. The Rtruth and Mark Henry knew about this? They probably didn't. Mm-mm-mm. You know how they freaking operate. Mm-mm-mm. You got to know that. So I wish I could say more, but I'm going to end the stream. And the next stream I'm going to do will be a part 17 on Tuesday. So I'm out for the culture, all right?